Today, I'm excited to share with you how we're helping businesses scale through roll-ups and acquisitions. Now, I'll share with you notes from a call that we had yesterday with 5 potential roll-up partners. And if you don't know me, my name is Moran, Pober, the founder of acquisitions.com and rollups.com. We've been involved in deals worth over 500 million in multiple industries in the last few years alone. So the call with the Rollup Partners was a Zoom call. We had 5 companies each. Each of them is making multi-million-dollar in revenues, who all of them joined the call with interest to join this roll-up. We have a total of 8 companies interested. Some just weren't able to join because they were on a flight or had some urgent matters. And by the way, if we get to 20 comments, I'll pick one of you for a one-on-one free consulting call with me. And it will go to basically the best comment below. And yeah, just let me know what you like about the roll-up strategy and the most, and maybe tell me what's holding you back starting a roll-up or joining one with one of your company as well. So yeah, let me know in the comments below. Anyway, so my goal at first with those roll-up partners on the call was to just share the vision and make some quick roundtable introductions. So I was just like, hey, let's talk about why we're all here, which is growing businesses through collaboration. And I told them that we believe in the power of joining forces to scale up, and that yesterday call was basically all about showing them how they can be part of this journey together, right? So I also gave them some context on how it's all started, which basically began when my partner on this came to visit me in Europe after he bought 2 businesses throughout the time we was in our acquisitions accelerator program. And we said to the partners that we spent tons of hours discussing and kind of like how we could take things to the next level. And after some thinking and many cups of coffee, we decided that a roll-up was the way to go. We believed that it was the best method to not just grow, but to truly maximize the potential for him, for me, and I guess for everyone else that we could get involved in this. And that's why we decided to invite those companies to the call. And that's why we were excited about this opportunity. I also gave them a bit of a background on how I met my other partner on this roll-up, who will act as our CFO. He was, by the way, a partner in a billion-dollar private equity firm. So obviously he can bring a lot of his knowledge into the table as well. And then we have a very collaborative group. We have a guy who's kind of like the industry expert who bought 2 businesses in the space. We have a CFO expert, and we have me, who's kind of like the roll-ups and acquisition structure person. Then I gave them data about the sector that they are all part of, and the fact that it's highly fragmented. So basically there are tons of small players, tons of small mom and pop shops. So there's no real massive one company that consolidated those businesses, at least not with the small businesses in that space. So we told them that that's where we see a big opportunity, and that's our aim, to basically unify these businesses and eventually enhance their value and prepare them for ideally what we call a major exit. And we also told them that we aim to get this group to at least 10 million in EBITDA before going towards an exit. Now, that can happen in the next few months, it can happen in the next 1-3 years. It all depends on how fast we can get there. Right now, we got 8 companies involved in this group. So I believe and hope that we need at most few more companies to get to that number. Then, of course, to start your journey to look for a buyer for this company, a buyer that will make sense for everyone. So yeah, we discussed that our goal is to get this group to 10 million EBITDA and then sell it for at least 10 times multiples. So we aim for 100 million plus exit as a group, which all of us could be part of, and get more by being part of the group than each of us individually will try to do on their own. So it's more of a collaborative approach of saying, hey, I'd rather own 10-20% of a $100 million company than owning 100% of a $5 million company, or 10, or whatever the business value is of them. Because individually, they might sell their business for 2-3 times, maybe 4 times multiples of their profits. And together, they could get on the same business almost a 10 time or even larger multiples. So then we discussed next steps with them. So I told them that for the next step, what we're going to do is do a deep dive on their business. So we're talking about having conversations where we basically examine kind of like the operations, the financials, and the potential growth to ensure that it's a good fit for everyone. I then told them that after we meet with each of them individually, we'll also put together a long report and a plan for them, and also give them suggested actions and a strategy on where we think we can help with. If it's in product expansion, cross-selling opportunities with other companies in the group, pricing adjustments to increase margin, customer retention, market expansion opportunities, and of course, what a multiple expansion would look like by joining the group. So doing this and getting this report from us, which is a lot of work on our team, right? We need to do a deep dive on all of their departments like sales, marketing, operations, finance, IT, all of those departments will do a deep dive and then create a super report for them. So we told them, which I tell you as well, just to share kind of like how I'm seeing that, they're going to get tons of value. Like they're going to get results in advance, value in advance, and it's going to be valuable for their company if they decide to join us on this roll-up or not. So the only thing we told them that they'll probably want to do, if they didn't do already, because some of them did, is to do to their company what we call a quality of earning report, so a QOE report, once it comes time to do this merger agreement between the companies. And I just think that it's in their best interest anyway, working with us or not, for them to know where they at as far as like a fair valuation for their business, which we're going to give them as well. But it's always good to have a third party analysis on things, so things looks as objective as possible. Then I answered questions from everyone, so everyone was super excited, and then obviously had some questions. So I'll go through some of the questions so you get an idea of what a roll-up like this looks like. So yeah, some of the questions is basically how I'm getting paid, how me and my team get paid at acquisitions.com. And also another main question was about synergies. So what synergies they might expect in the future as we do the merger. So we told them that we follow a very simple and pretty common, kind of like a similar model to a private equity model. So we told them that we take 20% share in the new company from profit we help create. So we don't really take anything of the existing valuation. So it's really only upside that we take. So there's really no downside to them to be part of that. On top of that, we're going to take some kind of a management fee that helps us do super important work, like going out there, meeting and building relationships with the right people who might want to buy us later as a group. And also developing the financial reporting infrastructure that will obviously be required for the holding company, because we'll need some financial report for the holding company. And all below are going to be subsidiaries, which are all the Rollup companies involved. And of course, obviously, we'll support in finding and building a board of directors and the right governance for the group, and finding more companies to join us, obviously the right companies. At some point, after we decide on the first core group of companies, we might also start a buy and build strategy. So we're not only going to bring existing companies, but we might also say, hey, let's buy a complementary business to one of the subsidiaries and introduce different capital sources and capital stacks into the roll-ups, like raising debt financing perhaps, or raising equity financing, which will take, basically we'll be leading that with the management fees. So the next question that I said is a lot of people had was, are we going to mix up like all the systems like CRMs and maybe force synergies after the deal, or what's the level of integrations and synergies? So about mixing up systems, I said that, look, we're not going to jump into messing with everyone's tech or systems, at least not right away. Like first off, we want to focus on making more money for everyone and getting our businesses to grow. So the goal is to get to a point where we show consistent 20-30% growth year over year for all the companies. So when we go to sell, overall the groups look like a company that's growing, and that's how we can get the higher multiples from a potential buyer. And yeah, I know that worrying about big changes like CRM systems can be a headache in potentially joining a roll-up like that. But I told them, don't worry about it. Like we'll keep things super simple to start with. There's no need for any big tech moves until we're really ready. And our first goal, probably until we have a core group doing at least 30-40 million a year in revenues altogether, it makes no sense to even deal with it. But then we can start thinking about how maybe to blend our tech and systems in a way that makes sense for everyone. So yeah, we had some more questions, of course, that we answered. Some of them are just a bit more confidential, so I'll keep it at this for now. But hopefully it gives you a bit of an idea of one of those rollups looks like from within, from one going on live right now. We've been involved in tons of those deals in the last few years, but this is like a super active one and a hot, warm one. So I thought it would be cool to share with you if that's of interest for you in your journey, if you want to start a rollup, lead a rollup as a sponsor, or be a company that's joined someone else's rollup, and what that looks like from within, or what are some of the decisions that are being involved in making this work. So yeah, hopefully it's valuable for you. Let me know what you think. I love you. Bye bye.